Hi everyone, this is part 2 of our Learning to Wing It project. Today we're going to work on the yoke of the sweater. I did do a little research before jumping into this part. I watched this video by Brianna Kay just so I could learn how she does the arms. And then I checked out this tutorial just so I could learn how to increase my rows properly. They're both linked in my Pinterest boards. As much as I love granny stitches, they do leave gaps, and I think I'm going to try and get rid of that in our sweater. On this one, they left the gaps, so let's see how it works out. Granny stitch clusters are made up of 3 double crochets, and I just do them 1 in every other stitch until you get all the way around, and then join with a slip stitch using your new color for your next row. In my attempt to get rid of that gap, I went ahead and crocheted into the row directly below on the second stitch of the 3-stitch cluster. And although I decided not to keep it because it's just too pointy, I do want to show you how I did it because we are going to do it in rows later on. This is when I realized that starting a new color with a slip stitch was not working for me because it was creating kind of this ugly line. So I stopped doing that. And instead I would end the row like normal, and then I would join with a slip stitch and then chain up 2, and that counted as the first double crochet for the cluster. This is where I thought I was going to start increasing, and so I did that just by adding an extra double crochet in the center into that drop down. But then I realized that that was probably not going to work out the way I wanted to, because although the increase looked good, it made it just too big. It looked like I was trying to make wings. I also didn't like how pointy the purple was in comparison to the other rows, so I decided that I'm going to do it all over. So I went ahead and pulled it all out. I only went down to the gray row because I decided that I kind of liked the gap next to the neckline there, and the rest of them I went ahead and did all the other rows without that gap. I didn't end up doing an increase until I got to the white row. I also did less of them, so you can see from the picture that my increases were every 4th cluster instead of every 3rd cluster. When you add your extra cluster on the next row, you're still going to want to drop down and grab the other color, but you kind of have to look for it because it's underneath all those stitches on that cluster. So, but it'll still match the others if you do it right. And then it kind of looks like a heart as you do the next row, and then you just keep going. I actually didn't end up doing another increase row until I got to the 9th row because the 8th row started to feel a little tight, so it started to feel like that was the right time. And we'll finish the yoke on part 3.